You wake before sunrise to fists pounding on your door. A village official is outside. Someone has reported you, and before the sun reaches the fields, one missing object may decide whether you return home, lose your freedom, or carry a mark on your body for the rest of your life. This is Qin China. The empire is new, the rules are everywhere, and ignorance is not a shield. You may imagine that breaking the law under the Qin meant immediate execution. That is the image preserved by later histories. A ruthless dynasty, terrifying punishments, and an emperor who controlled everything through fear. Some of that reputation was deserved. Qin punishments could be brutal, but the real system was more complicated, and in some ways more unsettling. Your fate might depend on a measurement, the weight of grain, the value of a stolen tool, your age, your legal rank, whether you acted deliberately, whether you confessed, and whether another person helped you. How could a government more than 2,000 years ago track all of that? The answer survived underground. In 1975, archaeologists opened tomb number 11 at Shuihudi in modern Hubei province. Inside were more than 1,000 bamboo slips, many carrying legal and administrative texts from the Qin state. They included statutes, questions and answers about difficult cases, and models showing officials how to investigate crimes. The tomb belonged to a local official often identified by the name Ji, and the documents buried with him transformed what historians knew about Qin law. A.F.P. Holsaway later translated many of these texts into English. What appeared was not simply a list of savage punishments. It was a working legal machine filled with categories, thresholds, records, and arguments about responsibility. So place yourself inside that machine. You are an ordinary farmer in a registered household. Your name is known to local officials. Your household members are known. Your obligations may include taxes, military service, or periods of government labor. Your social position is not private family knowledge. It is administrative information. The Qin state did not have modern police cars or digital databases. It had clerks, household registers, wooden and bamboo documents, seals, messengers, local officials, and rules requiring people to report certain offenses. Your neighbors matter. Families and small groups of households could be tied together through systems of mutual responsibility. That does not mean every relative was automatically punished for every mistake. The surviving laws show limits, exceptions, and arguments over when shared liability applied. But if you knowingly concealed a serious offense, helped a fugitive, or failed in a legally defined duty to report, the law could move beyond the original offender. Silence could become its own offense. Now imagine that a government storehouse is missing grain. The accusation reaches the local office. Perhaps a guard noticed a broken seal. Perhaps another villager reported seeing you near the storehouse. Perhaps grain with the official mark is found in your home. You are taken for questioning. There is no defense lawyer waiting for you. There is no jury of local farmers. Officials investigate, question, record, and judge according to the procedures available to them. The same state that accuses you also controls the documents that will define what happened. But the official cannot simply write, "You look guilty." The accusation must be turned into a case. Your name is recorded. Your status is recorded. The object is identified. Its amount or value may be calculated. Witnesses can be questioned. Physical evidence can be examined. Statements are compared. Contradictions matter. One Shuihudi text, usually translated as Models for Sealing and Investigating, contains examples for handling investigations. It shows officials inspecting bodies, describing wounds, identifying property, questioning people, and writing reports. This was not modern forensic science, but it was an attempt to make facts visible through procedure. That attempt could still be frightening. Maxim Korolkov, who has studied Qin and early Han interrogation, has shown that questioning was not merely casual conversation. Officials press suspects to produce a coherent account. If your answer conflicted with a witness, a record, or the physical scene, you could be questioned again. Beating was permitted in some circumstances. The legal materials do not present violence as the only proper method. Some passages suggest that a skilled official should expose contradictions through careful questioning, rather than rely immediately on force. Yet the possibility of physical coercion remained real. You would be speaking inside a room where the official held almost every advantage. Suppose you admit taking the grain. Is the case finished? Not yet. The next question is not only whether you took it. The state wants to know how much, from whom, under what conditions, and with what intention. A small amount and a large amount might fall into different punishment categories. Government property could be treated differently from private property. Taking something openly through violence was not the same as secretly stealing it. Helping another person could create a different degree of liability. Acting by mistake could be distinguished from acting knowingly. Even age mattered. Qin legal questions discuss children, physical maturity, and responsibility. Status mattered too. The Qin used a hierarchy of ranks, and rank could affect treatment, privilege, and in some cases the ability to redeem a punishment through payment. This is the first major surprise. Qin law was harsh, but it was not always vague. The state often wanted a precise answer because precise punishment made administration possible. If theft crossed a certain value, one sentence might apply. If it remained below that value, another might apply. If an official lost government property, failed to complete a report, or made an accounting error, the official could also be punished. The law watched the people. It also watched the clerks watching the people. Robin D.S. Yates has studied Qin administration through both the Shuihudi texts and the enormous county archive found at Liye in Hunan province. At Liye, archaeologists recovered thousands of written documents from an ancient well. These were not royal speeches. They were everyday records from a Qin county. Messages, accounts, orders, personnel matters, grain movements, and the management of laborers and convicts. They reveal an empire built from paperwork. Your case would enter that world as a sequence of objects and actions. A bamboo slip, a sealed bundle, a copied report, a messenger carrying a decision, an entry recording where you had been sent. What punishment might wait for you? The answer depends on the offense. Some violations could bring fines or payments measured in items such as shields or suits of armor, which functioned as standardized penalty units. Some could bring beatings. Some could lead to shaving the beard or hair, a visible humiliation in a society where the body carried social meaning. More serious sentences could include tattooing the face, mutilation, or death. But one of the most important punishments was labor. You might become a convict laborer assigned to government work. Qin documents classify laborers carefully because the state saw human effort as a resource. Convicts could work in agriculture, workshops, transport, construction, or other state projects. A sentence did not merely remove you from society, it converted your body into labor for the empire. This is why even a non-fatal sentence could destroy your former life. You might be moved away from your household. Your family would lose your work. Your appearance or legal status could mark you long after the original offense. And the daily conditions of convict labor could be exhausting, dangerous, and degrading. The popular image of Qin punishment focuses on spectacular cruelty. Yet for many ordinary offenders, the deeper threat was not a dramatic public execution. It was absorption into a system that counted your food, assigned your task, tracked your status, and punished escape. Could you reduce your sentence by confessing? Sometimes timing and cooperation mattered. Surviving cases suggest that voluntary surrender, reporting another offender, recovering stolen property, or capturing someone accused of a more serious crime could affect legal outcomes under particular rules. But this was not a modern plea bargain, and no single promise applied to every case. You would be calculating risk without possessing the full code. That uncertainty encouraged obedience. You knew the state had rules. You did not always know exactly how those rules would be interpreted in your case. Now imagine that you never stole the grain. Perhaps your neighbor reported you because of an old dispute. Perhaps the grain found in your house came from a relative. Perhaps a clerk copied the wrong name. Could the procedure protect you? In theory, careful inspection and consistent documentation could expose a false accusation. Officials were expected to establish facts, not merely repeat rumors. The legal texts contain concern for distinctions between accusation evidence, confession, and verified findings. In practice, everything depended on people. A hurried official could make mistakes. A frightened witness could change a statement. A powerful person could influence a local office. Records could be incomplete. Violence could produce an unreliable confession. The bamboo texts show what the Qin state wanted officials to do. They do not prove that every official always did it. That difference matters. Yuri Pines has described the Qin state, revealed by excavated documents, as extraordinarily active and intrusive. It tried to regulate movement, labor, agriculture, official conduct, and local life. But an ambitious rule written on bamboo is not the same as perfect control across mountains, rivers, frontier settlements, and newly conquered territories. The Qin Empire lasted only about 15 years after unification in 221 BCE. Its legal traditions were older than the empire, and many administrative practices survived into the Han Dynasty. But the dynasty itself collapsed after the death of the first emperor, amid court conflict, rebellion, heavy obligations, and widespread resentment. Later historians use that collapse as a warning. Harsh government destroys itself. That lesson shaped the Qin reputation for centuries. Yet the excavated evidence adds a second lesson. Qin rule was powerful not only because punishments were severe, but because the state tried to make every person legible. Your household had a place in a register. Your labor had a calculated value. Your crime had a category. Your punishment had an administrative purpose. That is the counterintuitive truth. The most frightening part of Qin law was not that every decision was random. It was that the state was trying to make punishment systematic. Random violence terrifies you once. A system changes how you behave every day. You watch what your neighbor does because their crime may become your problem. You guard government property because its loss may be charged to you. You carry documents when traveling because movement can attract suspicion. You report what you know because silence can be dangerous. Soon, the law lives inside your choices. Before any official arrives, that should feel strangely modern. Today, your life is also surrounded by records, identification numbers, tax forms, employment files, travel documents, cameras, databases. A small action can become a case because a system connects your name to a time, a place, and an object. Modern law is not Qin law. Modern rights, courts, legal representation, and standards of evidence are fundamentally different in many societies. But the ancient Qin experiment reveals something familiar about organized power. A government becomes stronger when it can see you. It becomes stronger when it can classify what you did. And it becomes strongest when you begin adjusting your behavior because you know you can be seen. So return to that morning. The pounding on your door is still real. The official is still waiting. But the greatest danger is not the anger on his face. It is the bamboo record in his hand. Because before you have spoken a single word, the empire has already found a place for you inside its law.
If this story changed the way you see ancient China, subscribe to Insert Life for more hidden stories about how ordinary people lived, survived, and faced the rules of the past. And now, imagine you were accused of a crime in the Qin Dynasty. Would you confess immediately to reduce the risk, or keep fighting to prove your innocence? Tell us what you would do in the comments.